Hello and welcome to another video on a Potterton Gold, the same boiler. This is the last video of this series on this model of the boiler. So what we're going to be doing today is to replace the automatic air vent on this boiler, which is really easy and it takes a very short time to change it. So bring the front panel down. Flow and return valves on the boiler for the heating, we isolate that. If possible, isolate them. If they're too stiff, you can leave them open. The worst which will happen is that you'll be draining the whole system down. So drain valve here on the boiler, so you can drain just the boiler on its own. What I usually do is to face up, because it can rotate easily, face up the hose connection on the drain valve of the boiler, rather than trying to connect the hose from the bottom. You can barely see it, so connect the hose onto the drain point. Because the valve itself is a bit stiff, we needed a pump plier to undo the valve, and once it's loosened up, we'll undo it with our hands so it can easily turn and let the water out, and it can start draining out. Quick look on the hose, so it has started to drain out. We'll wait for this to run out before doing anything else. We'll make sure that the gauge is going down. That means the pressure gauge is working, as well as we have made sure that the pressure has gone down before we start removing components. So we've grabbed a bigger pump plier, opened it to third last setting, grabbed onto the automatic air vent. It just screws into the pump's housing, so you don't need to remove the whole thing. You just unscrew the automatic air vent, which is a brass component. Take it out and gently take it out. Sometimes it can have some water. So this is the state of the automatic air vent. You can clearly see a lime scale on it, so always clean where the new air vent is going to sit inside the pump's housing. So grab the new automatic air vent in the packaging, take it out, and you can see the comparison of the old with the new one. So this cup which goes up and down, this float, this basically stops the air from coming out. But what happens is that if there is buildup of limescale or rust in the system, it restricts the movement of this cup. Hence the cup doesn't go up and the water starts to leak out where the water should be coming out. Right, so put the new one in, and carefully, always on any compression connection, any threaded joint, always do first few threads with your hand without using any spanners or pliers, as much as you can, because if you can't go further than one or two threads, it might become cross-threaded. So always do them up with your hand first, as many as you can, and then use a plier or a spanner to do it. And don't over tighten it, because remember it's sitting in a plastic housing. The pump's housing is made of plastic composite. It can crack if you over tighten it. Alright, so always remember to undo the air vent once you put it in, so it starts to release any air. After that, we've shut down the drain valve of the boiler, taken the hose off, and make sure that it's not leaking or anything. So that's the air vent on the top. So this is how we change an automatic air vent on a Potterton Gold, Potterton Titanium, Baxi, Duotech boiler. They're all the same, and it's a very simple job. So anytime you see any air vent leaking on these boilers, do not worry. It's literally going to take you 10 or 15 minutes time from draining, putting it back, and filling the system up. So always fill the system up, vent it before turning it on, and do your 26/9 checks and make sure it's all safe. And thanks for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.